Is there anything in particular that you can remember that was like kind of like the final straw for you?
Yeah, when Jay did a project with R. Kelly, knowing that he had Aaliyah, and I was told by Aaliyah, do not shake, ruffle no feathers, because it's going to bring more awareness to it, and she wanted to move on. So she said, yo, you could be around, but I wouldn't be around the projects, but that record they did together, you could be in the video, actually be in the video.
Allegedly, Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce.
Claiming that Aaliyah was hesitant to get on the plane the day of the plane crash. The source says that Aaliyah was given a sleeping pill and carried onto the plane unconscious before the fatal crash happened in the Bahamas.
Among the mourners joining Aaliyah's grief-stricken parents, her aunt Gladys Knight, Aaliyah's boyfriend Damon Dash, fellow hip-hop honcho Sean Puffy Combs, R&B singers Usher, Maya, and Monica, hip-hop artist Jay-Z, Busta Rhymes.
Dame Dash has reportedly sat down with the feds to get them to look into Aaliyah's relationship with Jay-Z and those long-standing rumors that Jay was somehow involved in Aaliyah's tragic death. According to insiders, Dash revealed that Aaliyah had expressed deep concerns about Jay-Z's behavior and intentions in the weeks leading up to her untimely passing. Aaliyah allegedly confided in Dash that she felt uncomfortable around Jay because he kept putting pressure on her after she already rejected his advances. And then there's the whole R. Kelly connection. Seeing how Jay-Z continued working with R. Kelly even after he found out what R. Kelly did to Aaliyah was the final straw for Dame, and he cut ties with Jay for good. But the rabbit hole goes even deeper, and there are allegations of a massive industry cover-up, with sources claiming that Jay-Z paid off witnesses and had them sign NDAs to keep quiet about what really happened to Aaliyah. And some people are also calling out Dame and saying he's trying to make himself look innocent in all this when he too failed to protect Aaliyah. And he appeared in a music video with R. Kelly 3 years after she passed. Honestly, it's starting to look like all these men were sniffing around Aaliyah, and none of them cared enough about her well-being, including her own family. There's a lot to unpack here, guys, so let's just get into it.
So your supposed best friend, partner, does a project with someone that he knows your partner's girl when she was a child, and you still say I had nothing to do with me, I'ma still get money with him. That was a wake-up call for real.
It's hard to believe that it's been over 20 years since Aaliyah's tragic death. It's really heartbreaking to imagine how much of an icon she would have been if she were still here today. Her talent was incredible, and if she were still around, she'd probably be your favorite artist. On August 25th, 2001, Aaliyah lost her life in a plane crash at just 22 years old while traveling in the Bahamas. The official story says the plane was overloaded, which caused the crash, but many fans have doubts about that explanation because there are so many inconsistencies. And recently, new evidence has come out that suggests her death might not have been the accident it was reported to be. To give you some background, just 3 days before her death, Aaliyah flew to Miami to film her music video for Rock the Boat, directed by Hype Williams. Everything was going smoothly until Hype decided to move the shoot to the Bahamas and insisted they leave right away. Aaliyah was nervous about flying since she usually traveled with her mom or brother, but Hype convinced her it was urgent. On August 23rd, Aaliyah and some Virgin Records staff boarded a sketchy-looking plane, and according to Dame Dash, Aaliyah felt uneasy as soon as she saw it.
When she actually saw the plane, she had the Blackberries, and she said, I don't like this plane. And I was like, well, don't get on it. And she was like, well, I got to because I got work to do. She got on the plane, and she always had a very serious fear of planes in general. So she had to overcome a fear to get on that plane.
But here's where things get even more disturbing. Dame also revealed that Lenny Kravitz, who has family in the Bahamas, actually offered Aaliyah his private jet, but Hype Williams came in and took it from her.
But what I was really more tight about was that I had heard that Lenny Kravitz had offered her a jet, and then Hype had took the jet. So that's what really pissed me off about the situation when I heard about that. So you could ask Hype about that.
That's what I said. Have you ever talked to Hype about it?
Yeah.
And how did that conversation go?
Ask him.
But I also am asking you.
Yeah, but ask him.
Now fast forward to August 25th when Aaliyah was supposed to fly back to Miami from the Abaco Islands, but the plane they arranged for her was even smaller than the one she had arrived on. Aaliyah immediately got a bad feeling after seeing the plane and decided she did not want to get on. Witnesses say that she went back to the cab and told her team that she had a headache and wanted to stay in the Bahamas for another day. But someone from her team gave her a pill, and shortly after that, she passed out. And eyewitnesses reported that she was carried onto the plane while unconscious. According to journalist Kathy Landoli's biography of Aaliyah, a taxi driver named Kingsley Russell mentioned that Aaliyah's team took her out of the van and she didn't even know she was being boarded on a plane. And tragically, Aaliyah's worst fears came true in the most devastating way. The small Cessna plane crashed just moments after takeoff, barely 200 feet from the runway. 7 of the 8 passengers, including Aaliyah, died instantly from the impact. The crash was so violent that the plane's wings shattered and the engine and landing gear were torn off. Aaliyah's bodyguard, Scott Galen, initially survived the crash, but he died shortly after, and witnesses reported that in his final moments, Galen was asking paramedics about Aaliyah's condition.
But her life, her dreams, were taken away. On board the doomed Cessna, Aaliyah and 8 others, including a representative for Virgin Records and a makeup artist. Investigators say one of the engines apparently failed. They crashed just short.
Now, let's talk about Jay-Z's alleged involvement in all this and his close friendship with Aaliyah's rapist, R. Kelly. Aaliyah was just 12 years old when her uncle Barry Hankerson brought her to R. Kelly's studio to audition for him. And sadly, not long after that, Aaliyah fell victim to R. Kelly's sick, twisted ways.
Once I got up to Detroit, I didn't have to hear her sing because she was glowing. I knew she had it. As soon as she started singing, that verified it. And from there, we became here. And everything's all good.
R. Kelly reportedly started raping Aaliyah when she was just 13 or 14, and he illegally married her when she was 15 with falsified documents. And who was right there next to R. Kelly when this was going on? None other than his BFF at the time, Jay-Z. Jay-Z was one of the many creepy industry men circling around Aaliyah when she was entirely too young. And to make a bad situation worse, even after Jay-Z found out what that sicko R. Kelly did to Aaliyah, he refused to cut ties with him. In fact, the same year Aaliyah died, Jay started working on his joint album with Kelly, The Best of Both Worlds. But that's not all. According to Jaguar Wright, Jay-Z wasn't just casually interested in Aaliyah. He was actually obsessed with her and even manipulated her into getting involved with him. But Aaliyah wasn't into the idea of being just another trophy for Jay-Z to show off on magazine covers. Instead, she preferred hanging out with Dame Dash, and their friendship eventually became romantic. And Jaguar claimed that Jay-Z couldn't handle the situation and became extremely jealous, so he allegedly enlisted Hype Williams and his friend Diddy to help him get rid of Aaliyah.
Saying, I wish that situation would be investigated further.
No, to be investigated. Period.
Period.
It was never investigated. Hype was never questioned. Lenny Kravitz made a statement, and it was never publicized. She was unconscious. She didn't choose to get on that plane. There were phone calls made. There were witnesses who signed NDAs. Why would you need to sign a non-disclosure agreement about a plane crash and what happened leading up to it? Please, someone.
Yeah.
Answer that. A plane crash should be accidental.
Should be.
Why would any testimony about what happened leading up to it need to be covered under a non-disclosure agreement if there wasn't foul play? There were over 25 non-disclosure agreements cashed out regarding the death of that beautiful girl and every other human being that died on that plane with her. And Diddy and Jay-Z.
And now another wild conspiracy theory is making rounds on social media, suggesting that Beyonce allegedly knew about Aaliyah being taken out of the picture, so she could replace her in the music industry and in Jay-Z's life. So Destiny's Child attended the Soul Train Lady of Soul Awards on August 28, 2001, just 3 days after Aaliyah's death. And some fans are already saying that the way Beyonce looked when asked about Aaliyah seemed like she wasn't sad about it at all.
She was our age, and it's just scary because that could have been any one of us. And she was an angel, and I know that now she's with God.
Now, Beyonce didn't really say anything shocking, but if you look at the comments on the video, a lot of fans seem to feel like she wasn't being sincere. They noticed her eyes darting around and that she seemed to be smirking when talking about Aaliyah's death. Sure, it's possible that fans are overthinking it, but there's also this strange video from 2009 where some people think Beyonce hints at Aaliyah's plane crash. During a performance of Diva at Jay-Z's 9/11 memorial concert, Beyonce smiled while singing the lines about airplanes. Now, it's already bizarre that Beyonce picked that song for a 9/11 event, especially since her dance moves resembled a plane, and then some fans took it a step further, claiming that her smile after singing No Passengers on My Plane was linked to Aaliyah's death. Just when you thought you'd heard it all, there's another crazy theory suggesting that the 2001 music video for Destiny's Child song Survivor also hints at Aaliyah's plane crash.
I hear the train a-comin'. It's rolling around the bend. And I ain't seen the sunshine. I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps dragging on. But that train keeps a-rolling. All down the San Antonio. All down the San Antonio.
Well, let's go back to Jay-Z and those reports claiming that Dame Dash is allegedly working with the feds and trying to get them to investigate Jay-Z and R. Kelly's involvement with Aaliyah and the rumored plot to get rid of her. During his recent appearance on The Art of Dialogue, Dame again claimed that seeing Jay-Z refusing to cut ties with R. Kelly after he found out what R. Kelly had done to Aaliyah was the final straw for him. And as for Dame appearing in a video with R. Kelly, Dame claimed Aaliyah gave him permission to do that because she didn't want to draw attention to what happened to her.
So your supposed best friend partner does a project with someone that he knows your partner's girl when she was a child. And you still say I had nothing to do with me, I'm gonna still get money with him. You know, that one was a wake-up call for real, for sure. And I don't think anyone that's human, if anyone could look the other way from that, they're a sucker. A man should stop calling themselves a man if they can hang out with a dude that will work with someone, that person they love. And yeah, I was told by Aaliyah, do not shake, ruffle no feathers, because it's gonna bring more awareness to it, and she wanted to move on. So she said, yo, you could be around, but I wouldn't be around the projects, but that record they did together, you know, you could be in the video, actually be in the video, because I wasn't gonna go. She told me to go be in the video. She said, just don't be in no scenes or take no pictures with him. And I did that. I respect it.
But see, based on the comments on Dame's interview, fans are not feeling his explanation at all. And they're saying he doesn't live up to the moral high ground he claims to have. One fan said, Dame, you were right there dancing. You had a woman pregnant whom you married after Aaliyah died. He tries to act like he was so in love with her when they were only dating for a few months. And someone else wrote, final straw. Dame's acting like he left Jay when in reality, Jay stopped messing with Dame due to Dame embezzling their company's money for his own personal expenses and making decisions without Jay. Dame was with Rachel Roy and got Rachel pregnant while dating Aaliyah. And not only the Fiesta music video, but Dame was also in the Changing Faces All of My Days music video and Twista So Sexy music video, which both feature R. Kelly. But what's your take on all these rumors that Jay-Z might be connected to Aaliyah's death? Is it just another wild conspiracy theory, or could there be some truth to it? And what about Dame Dash? Do you think he's not so innocent as he wants us to believe?